Ladies and gentlemen, it is Master Monster here. Um, uh, I wanted to share some Stalker 2 news for people who didn't follow nearly as much. So we have a quarter 2 2025 roadmap. They said they were gonna give out. They're gonna do these. They said they were gonna have a roadmap, and they aren't backing off of that, but they're deciding to do smaller roadmaps. Um, to give a more realistic expectation of what's going to happen. And so we're already kind of in. Quarter one is already they've already done some things. Um, so we have oh shit, I forgot I was overweight. I'm just in bad with these people, aren't I? What happened with this? 26, 29. Um, So yeah, so here, so we've gotten some critical A life fixes. Enemies loot corpses now. Ongoing stabilization and visual improvements. Free, free Logicka, which was an NPC I think that was getting stuck, and other blockers removals. Uh, New controller ability and squirrels. Did they did they add squirrels to this game? Did I miss it? What?
You heard everything, Skip.
What?
I hope.
Okay, yeah, they just become angry with me. Interesting. This is my easy account, by the way. So let's go over the stuff they're planning on adding. Um, we have the beta mod. So I guess the mod kit is going to be going into beta. Hold up, it's getting messed up on my phone. I have to zoom in because the image quality is good, but the image size is terrible here. Um, so we have a closed. They're gonna have a closed beta with stuff to for people to help test the game out and everything. So that's good. Um, so there's gonna be a mod. They're gonna release a mod guide, and there's gonna be a mod IO and Steam Workshop integration with this beta. I'm assuming. Um, I imagine like after they test the beta and cure any major bugs, we will then be able to get mods on Xbox. Because if you guys don't know, Mod IO is what they use for for the trilogy. If you didn't purchase the trilogy, you wouldn't know that. But yeah, we use Mod.io on the trilogy. And maybe some improvements will come to Mod.io for the trilogy, or maybe more people will start using it. And maybe some of the mods already on the Steam Workshop will be able to be converted over to Xbox. We have no clue when these are coming out. We just know it's within quarter two. I don't speak I don't speak government like I'm assuming it's like 12 months, so it's within the first 6 months here, and we're getting close. We're like halfway through that, so at most it can't be more than 3 months away. Um, so for those of you who are concerned that they've already gotten the critical A life fixes out of the way, and we're like, well, A life is still not broken, they got it for you right here. A life AI updates. You gotta be patient with this dev team. I've looked into a comment section on a video and seen literal like right wing talking point. Like the brainwashed zombie talking points of like, oh, it's not like they're in the trenches, and it's like what are they really, guys, their friends and family are dying to people. Half the dev team got scraped and is you know and the half the dev team got scraped and has to now not work on it, and sure they might have replaced a few people,
Yeah, the weather's been
but it's still not easy to work through. So I just want to throw that in there because it needs to be said, and people need to be uh, people need to be reminded of that. So, and this is big news. This is why I wanted to go over it. So persistent A-life improvements with a little fun note next to it in blue. Stalkers live their long happy life as it should be. So sometime within the next 3 months, the AI will not be despawning out of your sight and then disappearing once they get like slightly further away. Um, that will be huge because that is a big complaint. They're addressing a lot of the big complaints with this, fortunately. Um, but so let's move on to the next one. Smarter human combat, better cover flanking use, and they're gonna be limiting the grenades they use. Also huge. I've seen quite a lot of people complain about that as well, and rightfully so. Honestly, the the AI does like to throw a bit too many nades sometimes. Um, it is a little cheap when you have grenades being thrown, but you know, I'm also not really that concerned about it. Um, but you know, getting that cleaned up will help people maybe in wanting to play harder difficulties. Just because you know, uh, and we'll just feel better. Combat will feel better when enemies are trying less to throw grenades at you and more trying to like flank you and stuff. The, the devs, what this update tells me, or what this roadmap tells me, the devs know what their game should be. Obviously, they've been working on this for years. They cut corners to get the game out because they needed the money to continue working on the game. You know, their studio burned down, all this other shit happened. You know, it's forgivable. At least I forgive them. I feel like not, and it's all right if you don't want to. Um, but if you're still holding off on buying the game, it looks like it will be in a amazing spot once these updates get added. Um, so another fix on the A life is actually to the mutants, and another huge thing that I've seen comparison videos. I watched videos of people comparing. There's like shorts out there. But mutants will now eat corpses, and in blue they have, oh, so that's how they survived in the zone. Yes, that's my alarm. And then mutants will react to threats. So those are all the, I guess, promised features. Maybe not promised, but you know that's what they're working on. And then a big thing, mutant loot is going to be in the game. Now you can already loot certain mutants' corpses in this game. We know that because these, in fact, I have it in my inventory. These collars are on certain mutants, and even certain mutants outside of the collared ones let you like have an X on them, as if you could loot the body. Um, so it's not like it's impossible to add it in. It's already, the capability is already there. It's just adding the economy system, you know, and this would be something else to buff the economy and maybe, you know, make it not so rough to make money in this game. Although they have done a great job of soothing out those pains, it's still not in the best of spots, I would say, right now. Like I said, it's getting better, for sure. We have a shader compilation skip, which that's a PC thing. You guys will have to tell me what that's about in the comments. I don't. That's gotta be a huge issue though. Player stash window increase. Yes, yes, yes. That has been a huge complaint, and in the past they said that they're not currently looking into it, but they would think about it or whatever. You know, they obviously, people, this is like right away, people were complaining about this, and it makes sense because you know, even if this inventory screen could serve to be like stretched out a bit more potentially, through like maybe disabling the hint settings. You know, if you're playing this game a lot, you don't really need to see what you can do. You know, as far as like menu options, because you probably have that shit memorized. So yeah. Widescreen aspect ratio support. So yeah, that's another PC thing. I don't know. I don't know nothing about all that. But that sounds like, well, yet again, another very good, very useful thing. Um, you know, adding more support for more players opens it up. Maybe then, okay, I'm in the right spot. Maybe then you'll be able to, you know, um, get get the game running on a certain monitor setup you have. So I'm looking forward to that for all you PC players that may or may not be waiting on that. So that is coming as well. Um, they have 2 new weapons apparently coming to the game. And that's got me curious. Like, is it 2 new named weapons that are just variants, or are we getting like 2 brand new weapons that to play around with that we can start buying in the shop? Comment down below what you want added for weapons, or if you think it's just gonna be a thing. Further stabilizations and optimizations and anomaly fixing. And also, Stalker Original Trilogy is getting its next-gen update because they're still, or I guess they're still working on that in collaboration with Metaboo. If I'm saying that right, I think it's Metaboo. And the next-gen update is actually going to be huge. I actually went back and was playing Pripyat. Ow. And a next-gen update on that would go so hard. Obviously, next-gen update means you're gonna need to have a Series X. But that's a bait. But you know, if you do have a Series X like me, you're already playing Stalker 2 probably. But if you don't have a Series X, this might be, you know, and you're waiting on the game to get good. The next-gen update, along with, you know, all these improvements to the Stalker 2 game. If Stalker 2 was a game that, you know, maybe you don't have the best of PCs. Also, this game runs better on a Series X than it does on PC. Maybe that's something you are interested in. Or maybe you just want a better Stalker experience. They also will probably be updating the PC versions of these games and giving them all their updates with this update as well, because that's something they have already said that they're going to do. A handful of times they said that they were going to do that. And I imagine they would put it all out at the same time, or around the same time. So we can hope for that. At least I hope that's what happens. But yeah, those are some not small updates whatsoever. There's a note down at the bottom. Mission targets may be moved from two to later dates in case of zone instability. Oh, it's just like these are not necessarily set in stone. So some of these might not necessarily come in quarter 2. Maybe they won't be able to fit in all the A-Life updates in there. When did they add squirrels, guys? Tell me if there's actually squirrels in this game. I haven't actually noticed the squirrels. I haven't heard them chattering or anything like that, but that's interesting. But yeah, and also Stalker is 20% off. They just got announced that it's 20% off. Is that on Xbox as well? Space agreement SPFF. You can have 20% off your first entry on Steam. Very past the zone, and Colonel Cloth will show you the ropes. So it's a Steam only. So on PC, it is 20% off. Stalker 2 is 20% off. It would seem. Which actually prices it at a standard game, I think. It seems, unless that's inaccurate there. So not that huge of a decrease, but I also don't think they're gonna get too many decreases. If you wait for another like year anniversary, you will be able to get the game probably on sale then, for maybe a little bit cheaper. They're not stingy like Nintendo, you know. But yeah, this is huge news. I can't wait to get my hands on these updates, especially the next gen update. I'm just wondering if the next gen update will break the mods, what little mods are already out on Xbox, and what it'll do to the PC versions, and if you'll be able to swap between the 2 versions on PC. I'm kind of hoping that with the next gen update on PC, the gamers on PC will be able to play the old version as well as the new version without like any sort of change in the you know, the parts or whatever. My brain is struggling to think of what it is I'm trying to think of. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to say. There's no new news other than that, but and really there's nothing new except new stuff is coming and being worked on. But if you had watched anything of mine in the past, you probably already knew new stuff was coming. Or if you've seen anything the devs put out, you should, you probably trust them enough and care enough about them that you know they're working on stuff before all the normies that found this video. Yeah, Stalker 2 is a good game, and it's only going to get better. And I know you might be tempted to be like, oh, A-Life is broken. Like I said, I am willing, as a person personally, to give them a break on the game not being up to snuff from its previous examples. I don't think they wanted to use Unreal Engine. I know from what I remember hearing from like dev talks is they kind of were using the original system, and then this game has been through a lot. We are lucky we got the game got out to begin with. If the state of the game on release wasn't a telltale sign, and the features that were cut for a reason, and now their team has been focused on entirely updating this game and making it as optimal as they can make it, while also not just compromising the game's stability and adding more anomalies in with the mix. And I think the game been out a year yet? It's getting close to a year, but I don't think it's been a year yet. But yeah, I am looking forward to the day where the NPCs load in, maybe just a little bit further away, although sniper rifles are still very usable considering like the super like one-shot headshots, and can take a red dot, so you can like, oh wait, no, that's just the variant, never mind, but still super one-shot headshots. And if you're not running like a Dipro or something like that, it's pretty reliable. And so the other snipers also, you can just double click on a head and kills pretty easily. I hope they maybe sometime they'll take a once over the look of the perk trees. I feel like some of those could be more manageable, but they're obviously just working on fixing other things and stuff, and that's like never gonna come probably until much later on down the road. I don't know. Some of the upgrades feel a little lackluster in some of the guns, but yeah, that's all I have. I hope you guys are doing well, and peace out, and happy hunting, Stalker.